Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you know if any of the hospital staff have criminal backgrounds?
The people who work here all come from very different backgrounds, Doctor. Just like the patients.
Have you seen a strange man visiting any of the nurses here?
I've never heard of such a thing, Doctor.
Goodbye, nurse.
A giant morgue disguised as a hospital.
Good evening.
Good evening.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough. Who cares if a nurse finds some happiness where she can?
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old
What can you tell me about the strange man?
Let me guess. You...
Goodbye, nurse. It's locked.
Do you need...
The matter of Lady Ashbury's blackmailer.
Oh, I know too much about this matter already. I'm confident in trusting the interests and reputation of both the hospital and Our Lady into your able hands.
I have met Lady Ashbury.
She's a fascinating woman, wouldn't you agree?
Is she the true reason you recruited me? To work on her condition and addiction for blood? A part of me is thinking I've been played.
Lady Ashbury is a cherished friend of mine. I would not betray her secrets without her consent. Come to the rescue of a damsel in distress. I ask nothing more.
We'll see each other.
I wonder why the gods came here in the first place.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate. It's locked. Good evening. I'm Dr.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially...
A colleague? Are you a doctor?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Kesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Have you heard of someone blackmailing people in the hospital?
Pardon me, sir, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those...
You're a wise man, Mr.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think...
Please show me what...
Of course.
It's locked, all right.
Court medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife. I hope that might help.
It's locked.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plain and cold medical bench, sir. I understand you must be very angry about this unfair situation. I managed to arrange to have you buried in the same mass grave as your wife.
Блин, сорян. Привет. Да, у меня микро был выключен. Блин, я что-то даже не обратил внимания. Да я все равно тут мало чего говорила. Просто сказала, что... Найти Дороти. Сказала, что, возможно, нужно рассказать им о том инциденте, который сейчас будет. Типа покушение. Ну, я ему могу лекарства дать, вроде.
Good evening.
Dr. Reed. Still.
And why?
People who don't sleep at night.
Так. Интересоваться жизнью.
Have you heard of any underhand dealings going
Ну,
on?
какой-то странный тип.
Blackmail. That's not my style. Too risky. The black market, though. Now that's where the money is.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
Я могла его сожрать
Make
с
sure
первого
you
этого.
forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss will
Первая
cut me good.
встреча.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favor.
Вы чудовище, вы никого не щадите.
Only the strongest survive, then. Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. But as long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here, Milton, I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed.
Мне что-то не нравится. Может его убить?
Sad and dirty.
Ну, типа,
Alive, thanks to the efforts and dedication of the
какой-то
staff,
странный тип.
aren't you?
What are you expecting? A medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job.
Вы разозлились из-за письма жены?
How long do you think you can escape?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
Ну, смотря, не знаю, типа, нравится ли такой жанр. Кто-то, может быть, уже с первого раза вот увидит эти диалоги и скажет, скучная, занудная игра. Ну, типа, РПГ, ходишь, со всеми общаешься, детектив такой. Мне интересно, почилить вообще нормас.
The police may be slow, but they will find you eventually.
Well, how come you didn't turn me in then? Nah, Doc. I figure you have something to hide, so you can't ask the cops.
Мне интересно. Бля, подсказка не сработала.
What can you tell me about your marriage, Clay?
Marriage is the sweetest cage, they say. Well, I found myself locked in one with a wild animal.
You mean your wife keeps you on your toes?
No, I mean, we both have claws and we both love to bite.
Am I right to assume your wife's letter pissed you off, Clay?
I was so mad, I threw away the knife she got me when we got married.
Your wife gave you a knife as a wedding present.
That knife has always been my lucky charm. If I'd had it in my hand when I got stabbed on that pier, I'd not have...
Может, я зря его спасла? Не хотите вернуть, приносил удачу?
A lucky charm. I never would have taken you as the superstitious type.
We all have our flaws, Doc. Mine's to have my weapon of choice for when the really dirty business comes around.
Do you want it back?
I don't need it here, but if you'd be kind enough to bring it to me, I'd be...
A grateful Clay Cox. I might...
I can give you directions, but I'd be surprised if you managed to...
I'll leave you.
А как ему, кстати, лекарство дать? Подсказка утеряна. Блин, это вообще плохо.
How is this? I'll leave you.
Please, I feel sick.
Дороти Крейн. А где ее найти, интересно? В той стороне? Какие-то кровавые следы.
It's locked
Так. Нифига. А, нифига, их там много. А чё их так много? Я же сейчас умру. Блин, я с боем никак. А чё они меня не бьют? Как-то какая-то странная боевка, не очень. Всем как бы пофигу будто. Даже не стреляют из оружия. Я же вампир. Блять. Чё-то не очень много опыта. Так. Где-то там, что ли, наверху. О. Она уезжает? Да. Как мне туда проникнуть? Орёт кто-то. А можно мне телепортнуться? Чё не открывается? Серьезно? Чё? Говорите с медсестрой. Ну как-то снизу надо пройти. Что-то непонятно пока. Может, отсюда? Понятно. Или с другой стороны. Так.
Not yet.
All right.
I have all the information.
Thank you, Doc.
Так. Слежка. Нажмите В, чтобы активировать чутье. Если гражданин видится подозрительно, его сердце будет светиться по-особому. Так что ли?
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I ought to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Кто это? Чарли Чаплин какой-то. Там можно открыть? А, да, открылась. Блин, я не понимаю, как стрелять. Менять оружие. Что-то не получается.
It's locked.
Нажимаю вроде бы G. Опиум.
This man has been savagely attacked and dragged to the floor.
Шорткат какой-то. Бродячий скаль. Блин, очень сильно тратится эта выносливость. Шиповидная эта штука. Блять, а как поменять? Предметы. Вот так. Что 160 урона. Все через инвентарь, короче. А чё у меня две одинаковых штуки эти? Странно. Пила. Взять. Я не могу взять? Почему? Потому что, наверное, двуручное оружие, что ли? А, ну да. Что за ужас? Новый коллекционный предмет. Да, видимо, оно двуручное. Братство Святого Павла. Я бы посоветовал членам нашего клуба с большой неосторожностью относиться к этим так называемым ученым. Да, большинство относится к нам дружелюбно и с уважением, но для членов такого закрытого клуба, как Аскаон, было бы крайне неумно говорить о наших целях, наших товарищах, наших традициях. Я бы также хотела напомнить о том, что само братство достаточно древнее и довольно таинственные традиции. Одной из них, по сообщениям наших информаторов, может быть ритуал под названием «Изгнание дракона». Похоже, при определенных условиях члены братства Святого Павла проводят этот ритуал, если находят агрессивного или кровожадного бессмертного. В чем именно заключается, я не знаю. Существует ли он на самом деле, в этом я тоже не уверен, но мне удалось установить следующее. Каждый, представляющий угрозу для Лондона вампир, бесследно исчезал после того, как братство проводило против него ритуал изгнания. Сам Фергал Банша был достаточно умен, чтобы не бросать вызов братству. Этот урок должен запомнить каждый из нас. Нельзя допускать, чтобы братство объявило тебя драконом. Братство Святого Павла. Не ждал такого от себя. Вот, кстати, если он ест крысы, то, по-моему, плохо. Бля, всем. Гигиенично. Спасение горожан. Навестить его. Победи в скале. Это где? О. Кто это? А, это, по-моему, друг того чела, который в пиджаке.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd be glad to help you, but you must calm down first. Please, take a deep breath and tell me your name.
Okay, I'm Oswald Thatcher. Please, I need to get out.
Mr. Thatcher, your friend Newton
Да.
sent me to help you.
Yes, I do.
Good. Now leave this place and enjoy the cool night air. It's quite...
Мне надо его довести или что? Да нет. Я не хотела выходить. Я не знала, что это выход. Да эти переходы, конечно, немного душат. Сейчас какой-то файт, возможно, будет. Да. Помойное чудовище. Ебать. Сряд. Прикольно, как в Ведьмаке.
to check, but I should anyway.
Жесть. Какой-то фиолетовый монстр. Человека... Какой-то вурдалак, не знаю. Купон сестры Крейн. Если вы больны, если у вас нет денег, неважно, кто вы, неважно откуда, обращайтесь за помощью к Доротее. Никакого обмана, никакой платы, никаких вопросов. Просто найдите дом Дариуса Петреску и покажите этот купон. Nice ass. Шантаж Уайтчепела. Купон не бесплатный, на бесплатный смотрим. Что за 30 секунд, должен его найти. Короче... Этот чел, он, походу, и есть этот оборотень. А, нет, он... Это он, походу. А вот этот вот оборотень, блядь, он его просто сожрал. И нашел купон в ней. У нее, понятно. Короче, а почему он сюда пошел? Непонятно. Как-то странно все. Добраться до Уайтчепела. Прямо сейчас. Но надо, видимо, ее найти, чтобы с ней поговорить. Еще бы убежище найти. Нифига, он жесткий. У меня патроны закончились. Так, записка мокрых ботинок. Относительно вибровки парней в Уайтчепеле, кажется, одного я нашел. Это Альбер. Он тупой, как табурет, но крепкий. Я попросил его раздобыть лекарства. Он быстро их доставил. При следующей встрече я скажу ему, что его приняли в мокрые ботинки. Теперь он должен получать приказы у новых боссов. Альберт Пальмер. Это этот, что ли? Как его? Которого я спасла? Блин, тут в Уайтчепеле вообще другие персонажи. Нет, это Клей Кокс. Мне ее найти надо, эту женщину. Жесть тут. Дофига всего. И всех. Ну, желательно бы сменить, конечно. У меня патронов нет. Револьвер. Так. Что такое? Какой-то дом. Отойди от меня, убери свои мерзкие руки. Блин, что за вообще такие какие-то прям не очень приятные местечки, неизвестно. На помощь на меня кто-то напал.
It's locked, all right.
Невозможно открыть с этой стороны. Ёпта. Может, кого-то спасти удастся? Да, это походу внизу. Твою мать. Так. Дверь отперта. Так. Я какого-то NPC спасла.
This is Braille.
Текст по
I
Брайлю.
need someone who can read this.
Средство от слепоты.
What happened? Who are you?
It's all right, sir. You're safe now.
Oh, a fellow Englishman. Thank you, sir. For a moment, I thought those bloody heathens had killed me.
What are you doing here? This place is not safe.
Yeah, it's a cesspool, but it's mine. I came to collect some overdue rent, but those who still live here have gone completely bonkers.
You're very lucky to be alive.
Yeah, filthy immigrants. Fucking savages, every one of them. And now with this bloody fever, they're just animals.
You can find safety of sorts in Whitechapel. If you're quick and cautious, you'll be able to avoid the savages.
Простуда.
You had better return.
Safety isn't...
Загипнотизировать. Крысы. Вот так зашла в какой-то домик, и там можно спасти NPC. Состояние района тяжелое. Ёпта, там какие-то лучники. Да ему пофигу. В него стреляешь, а ему типа вообще срать. Как так? Давно в нее играешь? Ну... Второй стрим получается. Так, где мне ее искать? Она где-то рядом. Тесаком всех режу тут. Как его сбить? Так. Блин, по-любому здесь в Уайтчепеле где-то есть убежище. О, по-моему, тут вообще светлеет уже. Тут что-то было подобное. Ну да. На карте, кстати, возможно, есть. Что за кровавое копье? Восстановление 20. Какие-то гипнозы. Вот это мне надо. Еще и патроны, по-моему, что ли, сами как-то заполняются. Тайник. Слабая сырытка крови моментально останавливает. Средство от сепсиса. Блять, даже оружие можно улучшать. Масло. Часть обычного спускового механизма. Блядь, где это все брать? Враги, по-моему, кстати, воскрешаются. Ну да, снова. Блять! Жестко. Я его колом как-то оглушала. У меня получалось. Так, ладно. Ой. Нет, не ешь крыс! Я запрещаю. Передумал. Блять. Дайте мне перезарядиться, блять. Так. Я еще, мне кажется, ничего вообще не использую по полной свои эти самые. А действия, по-моему, работают только в режиме боя.
I cannot enter. It's locked, all right.
Закрыто. Низу, что ли, там пройти? Ебать. А он тут что-то делает. Это уже даже не босс.
It's locked.
Это так. Блин, плохо, что тут нельзя в дома заходить. Что тут всего какой-то большой переулок. Но просто как бы бегаешь и все, не заходишь, не это. Не смотришь, что тут вообще есть. Че, мне туда? Я тут была уже. Там закрыто. Как будто в этом доме.
I cannot enter.
Как туда попасть? О. Тут все-таки открыто.
Уайтчепел. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Найти убежище. Что-то я думаю, я еще не так быстро найду. Кто это?
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
Наркоту, что ли, какую-то продает?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
I'd like to see what kind...
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
О,
Drugs from the sick and suffering. What?
Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
а чё он? Мигрень. Средства от мигрени.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he did...
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy he just frayed me last nerve.
Просто спятил.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your trouble.
Может его сожрать?
Broke and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
I have found a very interesting letter. Your son planned to prove his worth to the gang by stealing your medicine.
Oh, I see. So the little bugger thought he could use his dad to build a reputation.
The gang's recruiter was dead when I found him. Perhaps you should take better care of your son.
I love my Albert, sir. Believe me. It's just... Anyway, thanks for the letter. This is for your trouble.
Блин, надо ему лекарство от мигрени дать.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything. It ain't me.
Medication and drugs are a rare commodity in East London. So you picked an easy target, didn't you?
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
Goodbye.
Wet boots will be proud of me.
Блин, столько подсказок. Мне кажется, эту игру можно проходить несколько раз.
Good evening, Benjamin. Can I help you?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Reed.
A gun out.
Где бы мне убежище найти? Но она явно не линейная, хотя я знала одну игру, где выбор был довольно по приколу. Что за игра? Он уже здесь пьет.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Киберкал?
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else.
Там от фракции вроде бы зависит, за которую ты играешь. Кто этот человек на самом деле для начала? Как он будет за ним наблюдать? Отсюда, что ли? Не особо что-то, по-моему, тут слышно. Может обойти. Кто это? Господи, сколько тут всего! О, вы меня помните?
I'm not here for a bounty.
A doctor in Уайтчепел. What an opportunity.
Do you require assistance, Mr. Bates.
Not me, but your skills could help a lot of...
Чему вы так рады?
It's unusual to see someone so happy around here, especially considering the current situation.
Why should I be sad now? There've always been wars, disease, tragedy. There always will be.
That's an unusual way of seeing things in these trying times.
I don't see why I should shed a tear for another man's woes. I'm healthy, and I intend to stay so.
Средства от простуды. Применить лекарства.
Since I took an oath to help people, can I be of assistance?
Well, I've seen better days, that's for sure. But it was bound to happen with all these refugees about.
О.
Infecting you is probably the last thing on these people's...
What? You give me this for free?
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane. She's a nurse. What can you tell me about her?
Dorothy Crane, bless her soul. I really should thank her someday.
О, он ее знает.
Has she treated you?
No. When I need a checkup, I'd go to a bloody doctor, not some back alley clinic full of sick foreigners.
Ну, она, короче, видимо, тут подрабатывает. Возможно, нелегально таскает лекарства с больницы и здесь, короче, лечит всех.
What is your business exactly?
I offer fair lodgings for a modest price to the poor and weary of Uайтчепел.
I see. And what about those who cannot pay?
Well, deals can be done, if you know what I mean. Money's not the only currency. After all, I'm not immune to a pretty face.
Я не знаю, что ответить. Вы пользуетесь их положением, вы выбираете меньшее из зол. Ну, мне кажется, вот это.
I don't approve of your actions, but I know very little about this borough other than its reputation. There are always necessary evils.
A necessary evil. That's one way to think about it. Knew you had more smarts than all these immigrants.
Что вы думаете о ситуации в Лондоне?
Tell me, what's your honest opinion of the increasing violence in London?
People are just beginning to discover what we've always known. This city's rotten to the core. They just took their bloody time to wake up and notice it.
What do you mean?
People are acting like the violence is news. But it's always been savage down here. It just bubbles to the surface every now and again.
Я когда хотел поиграть в вампира, но она мне The Sinking City напоминает, а мне она не запуск. Но тут диалогов много, вот, тут типа сидеть думать надо. Потом вроде бы в конце нужно вообще найти человека, кто тут предатель, кто не предатель. Короче... Прям чуть ли не в диалоге вслушиваться и думать, кто тут правильно, блядь, поступает, кто неправильно.
Mr. Bates, do not make me regret saving your life in this quarantine zone.
I understand, Dr. Reed, you're from a good family. Don't want to get your hands dirty. That's fine. I'll be happy to act as your middleman.
Вы мерзавец, деньги меня не интересуют, мне не нужны сомнительные помощники. Блять.
I'm no saint, but to take advantage as you do, you are a despicable man who could only prosper in these dark times.
So it's a no then. That's too bad. The Reed tonic could have really helped people, you know, saved lives. Isn't that what you do? I mean, people buy that Swamburgh shit.
I'm looking for
Dorothy Crane.
Tell me truthfully, why are you so thankful?
By keeping my tenants alive, she's making me a rich man.
Не дает жильцам умереть. Короче, она с ним в сговоре.
You seem to have recovered well since your attack. Do you ever think about what happened to you?
Подсказка.
Fucking nightmare. Savages, absolute.
You'd better not come back here. I won't be around. Goodbye.
It's locked.
Блять, мне туда попасть надо. Мне надо как-то за этим мужиком понаблюдать. Может зайти туда, пока его нет?
Nobody at home.
Дома никого нет. А, как же еще это сделать?
This district seems to get uglier every year. A lot of people are talking about this colossus.
Кто это? Он мертв или он забагованный?
It's locked, all right.
Да я второй Divinity подходил, диалоги меня не особо пугают, просто они пустые были. Я не понимаю, он забагованный, что ли? Я не играла в Sinking City. Нет, это, походу, какие-то мертвые жители здесь. Ну, немного, кстати, Мор напоминает. Чуть-чуть. Тоже такой нуарный город. Все дохнут. Надо за всеми следить, чтобы они не сдохли. Блять, ну и как же попасть туда? Я не знаю. Что-то надо делать, искать какие-то подсказки. Чё? Все закрыто. Может, мне просто надо следить, и все. О.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
Куда текстуры все делись? Так, он и возвращается. Журналистом или поэтом. Их видели у церкви. Найти жителей Уайтчепеля. Фига тут жителей, кстати.
Please take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your...
Я еще в больнице там никому не помогла, а уже здесь надо тут всем помогать. Джо Питерсон.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Насилие становится больше.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days.
Я что-то как-то на больницу сейчас настроилась. Думала, там будет много чего. А сейчас я уже в другом городе, и тут вообще свои задания.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Необходима подсказка.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is.
Такая сука медсестра.
Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Она прекрасная, конечно, я виню во всем приезжих. Она пытается помочь. Ну-ка. Надо на Понтова взять, согласиться, что они... Да, уёбки. Сейчас, может, что-нибудь скажет.
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu.
Довериться, так сказать.
Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious nurse Crane gives away medical
Бесплатно, я сказал.
For free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Поинтересоваться жизнью Лондона, задать личные вопросы. Бесплатная торговля лекарствами. Интересно. Кто это?
Excuse me, sir. I have a few...
Another journalist? I didn't answer the phone.
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
You survive at any cost, even at the expense of others. Perhaps that's just the law of nature.
I don't care what you think, sir.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Задать личные вопросы.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Мистер Питерсон.
Fancy buying?
You never...
Здоровый. Джо был вашим другом?
Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I've known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
Потерю близких нелегко пережить, отчаяние отравляет, он просто трус.
It's never easy to find a new...
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see it.
Никто не может дать ему отпор.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against the Wet Boot Boy.
Goodbye for...
Церковь.
Would you like me to revive you?
Кто это?
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for one.
Какой-то сербский язык.
But I'd like to ask you...
All right then, but be quick, though I usually...
Поинтересоваться жизнью в Лондоне. О здоровье. Так, ну-ка, что у нее? Средства от переутомления. Применить лекарства.
It depends on the price of...
I am shocked that you would think I am that sort of man.
Forgive my suspicion. I'm so used to liars with good manners. Thank you.
Так.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Considering your line of work, I assure you, it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crasionescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem
Румыния.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Уайтчепел. Everyone should respect that.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually...
I have no interest in your work.
Short story. The war, exile, and England.
Я вас не осуждаю, пытайтесь найти другую работу, вы сами решаете решили так.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly. But it is not your concern, Doctor.
Бля. Вот как выбирать такие ответы, чтобы они разговаривали дальше? Тут такая лотерейка. Либо где-то какие-то улики искать в других диалогах. Вот она не все сказала, не все рассказала. Только от кого-то где-то выискивать правду. Не знаю.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Duff.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. Oh, glad.
Задать личный вопрос. Подсказка необходима. Почему газеты молчат об эпидемии?
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
Это логично, это позор, это преступно. Это позор.
Disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Не боитесь выходить по ночам?
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Do you need assistance?
That would be nice of you, Doctor. Who knows what I may...
If you persist in investigating the most pox-ridden boroughs of London, you must accept the risk.
Thank you, sir.
What is a
He goes where none of his colleagues would...
Christina Popper claims she sells her body because she can't find any other work. Do you believe her?
Of course I do. Her story is exactly what I want my readers to understand. We live in an intolerant and divided nation.
Do you think things will ever change, Mr. Darby?
I believe the situation can only improve. And now that women can vote, I'm convinced things will change.
Блин, сколько подсказок.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Uайтчепел. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
Я забочусь за здоровье
I'm a
людей.
doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke...
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
Ты уже поработил весь город? Нет.
He has no relatives?
Я просто общаюсь с местными. Типа, выясняю тут чё как. В Уайтчепеле.
He spends most of his time lurking around Uайтчепел, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Он не выходит из дома?
He never goes out.
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby.
Найти почтовый ящик и письмо. Возле его дома, что ли? Ой, блядь, патронов нет. На территорию не заходить. Так. За церковью. Найди Ричарда. Это он, что ли? Привет.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed.
Ну то, что...
Please be my guest. Although I
Пока что не совсем все понятно.
My words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir.
Я вообще сюда пришла выследить медсестру, которая работает в... Получается, в больнице. И она здесь занимается какими-то странными делишками. Ну, как выяснилось, она здесь бесплатно отдает лекарства людям. Видимо, у нее есть какая-то выгода, почему она это делает. Ну, может, свалить хочет куда-то. Что вы делаете здесь среди ночи? Я обещал вернуться. Каплу. Средства от простуды. У меня нет лекарства. Он, кстати, заболел.
Why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Peaceful? That's quite an unusual way to speak about the epidemic. And very inappropriate, I must say.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I...
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
Вот он странный.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear Doctor.
4 года.
Tell me, Mr. Nivicott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Мне кажется, он не кажется вам мрачноватым.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about
Что за камелия?
Much, and that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
Камелия! Вы еще правда не знаете ее?
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
Реально скучно. Балдеж.
In what way exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane.
Как у девочки. Так, помимо стримов, чем ты занимаешься? А что?
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
Что?
I'll leave you alone, sir.
I'll leave you alone. Письмо издателя с отказом. Так, издательский дом Подхалим, Левент-Корт, Камен-Стрит. Уважаемый мистер Нитер-Кот, спасибо за то, что прислали ваш сборник стихов «Песни сломленного города». Мы нашли его интересным. Это же мы вам ответили и в первый раз, когда его получили, но вы должны понять, что это страшное время для нашей страны. Публикация данной книги была бы совершенно неуместной, поскольку вы отказываетесь менять название и требуете, чтобы работу напечатали либо в полном объеме, либо вообще. Второй вариант. С наилучшим пожеланием, Джордж Моррис. Так. Надо у него что-то спросить. Если я нашла это письмо.
Good evening. And good evening to...
Вы зарабатываете письмом?
You don't really make a living from your scribblings, do you, Richard?
No, sir, I don't. I work so hard. I put all my time, my energy, my devotion into the precise carving of words.
Блять, я просто подошла к какой-то помойке и нашла письмо. И вот теперь можно что-то от него... Похоже, от бездарности вы не страдаете. Богатый поэт и редкость. Подыщите себе дело. Какой-то сумасшедший.
Perhaps it's time to think about something more useful to do. I'm not sure that poets are what London needs at this moment in time.
Men and women need food for certain, a roof and safety, but how narrow is the mind of one who believes art is not as essential? Goodbye for now, sir.
Блять. Подсказка не сработала.
I'll leave you alone, sir.
Ой. Блин, надо было с ним, наверное, согласиться. Ой, это кто такая?
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed.
Господи, сколько их здесь.
I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall, strange
Нанимаешь, что ли?
girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Tell me about Richard Nethercote. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia. Very well.
Пружина. Блин, у меня сейчас должна быть подсказка, а я ее просто продинамила, эту подсказку. Плохо. Найдите почтовый ящик. Так, бесплатный медосмотр. Ну-ка.
Hello again. Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane. Very well.
Ходит, раскладывает цветочек, всякие эти.
Hello again, miss.
Всякие бесплатные штучки на медосмотры. Так, здесь кто-то был в церкви, вроде. Только, по-моему, с другой стороны. Так, и чё тут? И шо? Ничего? Сколько еще тут их много? Еще 4 человека.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I
A scientist?
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimated...
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting...
Really? And
we must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Как вы хотите очистить город?
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this...
На науку вся надежда, но где будет предел? Сейчас ведь 20 век. Ну-ка.
Purification by fire has proved useful.
Your lack of faith is predictable.
You're mad and dangerous.
My son, if you think so...
Joseph, a fool.
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he...
What do you mean when you say that I am more...
All scientists are entangled in a world of...
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I...
Well, you are seeking answers, aren't you?
Well, I suppose I can spare a...
As a doctor, you must be aware...
What do you mean?
The beast is...
I have heard...
О, какую-то херню рассказал. Тут еще просто... Добрый вечер, мать, привет. Несколько раз нужно к одним и тем же людям подходить, чтобы какие-то новые диалоги появились. Не знаю.
Hello, young man.
О.
I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then.
Кто его ищет?
I'm Harry, by the way.
Я и даже не знаю, кто. Что-то запуталась. Может, что-то найти можно здесь? Потом к нему прийти, поговорить. Вдруг он что-то скрывает. Заперто. Письмо с отказом. Так, что за письмо? Так. Мистер Питерсон. Мой долг сообщить вам о том, что ваша просьба принять вас на работу в доке была отклонена. Я благодарен вам за то, что вы потратили время объясняя сложность вашей ситуации, рассказали о том, что у вас болен сын и что умерла ваша дорогая жена. Мой долг состоит также в том, чтобы разъяснять правила нашей компании. Они явно запрещают брать на работу бывших преступников и осужденных. Ваши связи со скандально известным мокрыми ботинками не укрылись от вашего внимания. Сейчас тяжелые времена, сэр, и компания VAMPYR намерена прежде всего вознаграждать кандидатов. Так, прошедших проверку, которому устранцы искателями. Я от всей души сочувствую вам, да и не оставит вас Бог вашу семью. Типа его сынок, что ли? Профессиональные охотники на вампиров. Если вы заподозрили кого-то в том, что он вампир, не предпринимайте самостоятельных попыток его убить. Я уже играла в доту. Не знаю, надоело просто. Ну-ка.
I'm not bothered. How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough like.
Господи, как же... Какие же все грустные в этой игре.
What can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things.
Еще и музыка такая.
Do you need any med?
Yes, I do.
You'll feel better with this.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
Это не хромакей. Уже не будет. Твой отец старался как мог. Да бля, я не знаю, что отвечать. Ну вот это. Блядь, почему ты не уедешь? Блин, сидеть дома нормально, блин, чё он прикопался? Я тоже сижу иногда дома. Дружил с твоим, ты знаешь, что твой отец искал работу.
Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
I can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities, but I'm not sure it would be enough.
Why is that?
Sometimes I suspect it's me, Dr. Reed. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my place.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her.
Все.
Goodbye, young man.
Even my dream.
Что-то, может, еще можно было узнать у него.
May I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered.
Goodbye.
Even my dreams are soaked with glue.
Dead Inside какой-то, если честно. Ну-ка.
You again?
Зачем вы привезли Гарри в Уайтчепел?
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife.
Since the criminal nature of your job...
No one will ever take my son away from me.
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Jack?
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I'm...
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor.
Мой сын нездоров. Чё, всё? Может, его как-то переубедить можно?
Goodbye.
На бусте, ну, не прям чтобы. Просто фото красивое. Так, а это кто? А, чё он ломится куда-то?
Goodbye.
Найти жителей. Я не всех жителей, что ли, нашла? Это, блядь, почтовый ящик. Ну так, чуть-чуть.
I cannot enter.
Не здесь надо найти почтовый ящик.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Найти почтовый ящик и письмо.
Morbidity can breathe its own beauty and grace.
Где я его, блядь, найти должна? Портсигар.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
It's not my call, Barrett. You pay one way or another.
Please.
You again?
А, ну он же типа такой типа, вышибала. Ясно. Привет.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again.
Поговорим как мужчина с мужчиной.
Sir, wait.
All right.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to...
I have to admit your words have convinced...
О. Шиллинги. Большая банка таблеток. Древний врыкалаки. Врыкалаки.
It's locked.
Закрыто. Бля, как сейфы взламывать в этой игре? Тут столько сундуков, блин, закрытых. Че, с ним поговорить-то можно?
If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced.
I am Darius Petrescu.
Настоящим имени сестры Крейн.
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane.
Like myself and many people in this area, Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to know.
She seems important to the community.
More than you can imagine. The West End does not want to hear.
Do you need...
I am very...
Well, I think you do.
Free drugs from an English doctor.
Did you refuse to publish Richard Nethercott's previous works, Darius?
Yes, his manuscript is as pompous as he is starched. Now there's a man who loves the sound of his own voice.
You could have told him so.
As a great writer recently said, politeness is the most acceptable hypocrisy.
Tell me everything you know about Camellia, the mute florist.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor, but I'm almost convinced Camel...
Вы не опасаетесь за нее?
Worried for her safety.
She is as brave as she is tough, and clever too. If only I had met her when I was...
У него язык блестит.
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man for sure, but a very poor writer.
Tell me everything you...
I do...
Do you have any family left, Mr. Petrescu? Children or grandchildren?
Who knows? I have abandoned my people for so long, they might as well be dead. As dead as I am for them, I suppose.
Don't be embarrassed, sir. If you must know, my own father disappeared many years ago, and I forgave him.
It's quite awkward to talk about our families like this, but...
This war won't last forever. Did you ever think of returning to your country now it's free?
No. I have taught strength and determination to my sons and daughters. I'm an old, dying man who only had...
How did you meet Nurse Crane, Darius? Why does she trust you?
I'm her oldest friend in England. Dorothea and I share many ideas about this country and about the country we left.
You mean occupied Romania, don't you? Even if not directly, I fought against your enemies.
Really?
Then perhaps you have more in common with Dorothea than meets the eye, Dr. Reed.
I know you fought for your country when it was occupied, Darius. Tell me more about it.
I know my days are numbered, and I know I won't see my homeland again. But I fought for Romania all my life, and I will until my last breath.
But Romania escaped the grasp of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It's a free country again.
But it's not the country I fought for. My homeland is not appeased, Doctor. And I still see a dark future ahead for my people.
Yeah.
Tell me...
I do not...
Goodbye.
Мне кажется, ее там уже нет снова. Она убежала. Так. Что-то тут столько лута. Может, она вампир на самом деле? Когда ты прочитаешь это письмо, я уже буду на корабле, который отвезет Антона и меня обратно в Брасов. Англия не даст не для нас. Если честно, я мечтаю поскорее видеть гордые холмы Трансильвании. Когда вернемся, я поставлю свечку в черной цверке за то, чтобы ты пережила эту страшную эпидемию. Я знаю, ты не одобришь мое решение. Ты твердо намерен помогать нашим товарищам. Но Антон мечтает вернуться на родину, видеть, как начнется долгожданная революция. Он мой муж. Я не покину его. Мы с тобой часто спорили. Ты хотела бы, чтобы я осталась с тобой, помогала в клинике, но помни, что если с тобой что-нибудь случится, если ты попадешь в беду и тебе будет грозить опасность, пожалуйста, вспоминай меня. Я так часто буду вспоминать о тебе. Дрожная сестра Теодора. Теодора? А она знала, что ли, типа? Кристина Попа. Жесть, что он там делает? Она кого-то лечит. Неизвестно. У него кальвульс. А, он типа обращается, походу.
Patient Razvan Vasily, high fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain, diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort, liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
Так, тут, походу, надо...
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting
Будет последовательность какую-то сделать. Нет?
What can I do, doctor?
It's too dangerous to operate with these convulsions. Sedative, nurse.
Do we have any anesthetics?
I'm sorry, Doctor, none at all.
Жесть.
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy. Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Don't question me, nurse. I need a drain. Now.
Yes, Doctor.
Что? Я неправильно что-то сделала?
He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see.
Блять, кровь. Сейчас он загрызет его. Нет!
I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
Good. The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor.
Ну и чё, блядь, я... Короче, похоже...
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor.
Он умер? Умер, да? Блять, я, походу, не спасла его. А можно было спасти?
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Да блин!
We did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Блин, вот интересно, можно было бы его
But the
спасти?
previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners.
Да уж, что-то из меня такой себе...
It was more than intuition alone
Доктор.
that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
Your heart might be in the right place, but you can't carry on with this blackmail. For God's sake, Dorothy, it's extortion. It's a serious crime.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty, nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Забудьте обо всем, что произошло.
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
Загипнотизировать ее. Есть новые горожане, которых можно убить. Подсказка не сработала. Подсказка утеряна. Блять, надо было, наверное, спасти ее. Спасти этого челика. Я думаю, можно было бы это сделать или нет. Блять, все закрыто. На ключи, наверное, если ее убить, можно и ключи там забрать. Чё? Кто это? Так, мне нужен кол. Оглушение. Че, не всех убили, что ли? Найти жителей. Так.
No civilians allowed, sir. Cross the leech, boys!
Ярость. Бля, он сам парирует. А он регенерирует, если кровь высасывает? Я, походу, реально не всех жителей еще нашла здесь. Так. Никого не вижу. Крупный зверь.
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Dr. Reed.
А его типа не тронули, что ли?
Yes.
Goodbye.
Почтовый ящик. Найти почтовый ящик и письмо. Где он может быть?
Its effectiveness has been proven by many. Even the flu is no match for the
I cannot enter.
Указывает, что где-то здесь.
Human blood. Whoever left these marks did so deliberately.
Господи, что это? Кто это? Какие-то охотники. А их здесь не было раньше. Блять. Да он... Меня сейчас убьют. Блять. У меня вообще ничего нет. Во. Еле-еле. Я тут как будто была уже. Чё? Что-то найти надо. Не знаю, просто дом какой-то пустой. Жесть. Мутанты против этих... Так можно, типа? Даже не знала, что такое есть. О, что это, возвращение в больницу? О, да. Так. Ингредиентов для улучшения достаточно. Так, ладно, наверное, пожалуй, все на этом.